Hey, what's up, guys? I just had a second, and I feel like I was typing a mouthful, and it gets lost in context through text. So I have a little bit of time today after on my lunch break. So what I was gonna try and just kind of verbally communicate to you guys was, and I don't mean to like come off stern or like, hey, a know-it-all or whatever. And I don't know if. When things aren't done, or I can't be there, or there's more negative than positive, or more negative things being said than actions being taken, or changes being done, it's very easy to throw somebody like myself under the bus. And I don't know if anybody's doing that, and that's fine. I don't know if it's Alan. I don't know who it may be, but there's definitely a house mouse here. I've done this a long time, and I feel energy. I know I'm not crazy. So with that being said, I want to say this. For both of those teams that I won those championships with, I want to just get this out of the way. Shane wasn't on either one of those teams. They actually were kind of bitter about the point, but I just wanted to get that out of the way because I have a good feeling that might be what's going on. It is what it is. Those rings are on my desk at work right now. One of those teams that I won it with, it shouldn't have even happened. And it was a process that I learned from my late great friend, Corey Relling, who really taught me about coaching baseball to kids and the proper ways to get it done. He was the head coach of the LB21 team that we won multiple championships with as well. I ended up head coaching that team after he left to go to Lake Travis. And the things that we put in place were literally just rinse, wash, repeat. A lot of reiterating the same thing and saying the same thing over and over again in BP. We're going to end up sounding like broken records, but it just has to be done. So with that being said, I do want to say this. We can't not all be on the same page coaching the same exact thing, because I'm not always going to be able to work with hitters. I'm not always going to be able to work with pitchers. I'm not always going to be able to work with catchers, fielders, etc. But regardless of what anybody may think or their opinion may be, I know exactly what I'm doing when it comes to coaching. Especially baseball. And I'm sorry, but I'm not confident in very much else in my life. I'm quite the master of nothing. But one thing I am very, very confident in the ability to do, that's coaching baseball and developing ball players. So with that being said as well, please just trust me. Please buy in. Because we need to get these players to do it as well, and it's going to take a lot of meticulous repetition from us and from them for sure. With that being said, guys, we're not hitting the ball, we're not driving runs in. We have a great on-base percentage as a team, but unless we start hitting the ball and hitting the ball hard, and I don't mean, hey, let's put our best swing on it. That's not going to cut it, and it's not. We're starting to see as the spring season progresses, these pitchers on these other teams are getting better as well. They're getting more rotation. They're adding pitches to their bags. They're not the only ones doing what we're doing, and they're probably doing more, a lot of them, and that's why we're having a hard time getting above that hump. So with that being said, with hitters alone, I have 6 hitters that are on our list off numbers alone. They shouldn't hit anything except an outside pitch. Except for maybe Gabe, an outside pitch set up low and away. So we have to have some sort of plate on the ground with a measurement. I mean, they have to see the box, everything. It has to be. If they're not hitting in the box on the field, we need to accurately display one, whether that's with the little cones or not. But we shouldn't have any of them taking any other swing than low and away for the next 2 weeks. What that is, it's gonna fast track us to get the swing out and wide the way that we need it to be. I mean, this is our drive hand, this is our direction hand, the top hand. So if we're not getting that big wide swing out, around, up and away, which essentially a good way that I used to use this back in the day was with my 8 and 9 year old guys is they'll naturally do it a lot better if we use the analogy, throw our hips to the sky. And when you go to throw your hips to the sky, you're naturally going to have a wider, bigger swing plane. So I'll show you guys what I'm talking about, but I want to start using the phrase throw our hips to the sky when we're talking about getting no more turning that back foot, none of that. Throw our hips to the sky. As far as and we're going to use that implemented with the low and away placement on the tee for the next 2 weeks. Nobody. I mean, and if we're going to pitch to them, it's going to be a kid, or we're going to do underhand toss, and every underhand toss needs to be on a line. It cannot buckle. It cannot go tail out. It needs to be on a line quick. They need to time the hand dropping. And if they're not timing it perfectly or they're late, we need to call them out on it. And we don't let them hit another ball until they time the load. We're going to annoy these kids, but they're not going to get to keep hitting baseballs and running around the field, playing the game until we can get this down. It just can't happen. We're wasting time. And it's not y'all. I'm saying it's me. I haven't been able to be there. And I think we're all kind of frustrated that we're kind of hitting a ceiling. And this is really what it's going to take. I can definitely say we're only 500. We're 500 win-loss record. That's not bad. We're just there, and it may not be this spring, but I can guarantee you in the fall we win some championships if we can apply this and do it without question. So with that being said, all hitters from now on, if they're going to take any sort of pitching from a coach to hit, I got a pitching machine too. I haven't seen if it works yet, but I bought it the other day at a thrift store. I think it might, but I want everyone hitting underhand toss. If it's going to be from a coach, it needs to be fast, on a line, and cannot tail out. It needs to be thrown on the outside of the plate. And if they're at the field, we need to put either a stick, or I'll get some spray paint and we'll put the boxes there to make sure they're not cheating and getting closer to the plate to cover the outside. With that being said, we're going to go throw our hips to the sky, outside placement, low and away for 2 weeks. I can guarantee you that is the fastest way we can improve our hitting average and barreling the baseball. From there, our fielding. I mean, yes, our field conditions are bad, but we have to start having accountability. And the only way that we can do that without putting ourselves into the equation is that we have to start opening up competitions for every position on the field. I don't care what position my son wants to play. And obviously I can't care what position anybody else's kids wants to play. It doesn't matter. It's not going to matter when they get into high school. It's not going to matter. It's just not going to matter. And we can't keep trying to win championships by telling these kids or putting these kids at positions because we want them to be there or because they want to be there. It's not the game. We have a team here, and we are trying to, if we're going to crunch numbers, we need to do everything to that extent. We can't crunch numbers and then say, oh, you want to play at this position? Oh, you want to bat here? Or you want, it doesn't work that way. So if we're going to be thorough and we want to win championships, this is what it's going to take. We need to have open competitions to create accountability and show us. We're talking timing. We're going to time these guys on throws, attacks. We're going to have to really get analytical. There's just no other way to do it. If we need a kid to pitch, he's got to pitch. Plain and simple. I don't care if he doesn't want to. If we need a kid to catch, he's got to catch. We don't necessarily need to tell them like this, but we need to tell them all in the beginning of practice today that what you thought you were going to be doing this season may change defensively. But if you really want to win a championship and you want those rings, we're going to need you to be wherever we put you. And we'll take away the idea of they're going to play all over the field. I'm cool with each player knowing that they're going to play two positions, possibly, but we don't even need to get into that. I think we just tell them, hey, everything's changing. We want to get you guys out here. They can even tell us, hey, I want to play at this position, but they're going to have to compete and earn it and win it statistically, speed-wise, and just overall performance at that position. Footwork can be taught, speed cannot. So we're in a situation here where our guys in the outfield, we can kind of get away with some lenience there on footwork. Now, I don't think our outfield is struggling very well. They actually look pretty solid, so I'm not too worried about that. I know Oliver's wanting to work and be catcher and all that, but like I said, that goes right back to to can you earn the position? Can you win it? You know, and at this point in time, it's really all about what can we afford to give time to, and we really just don't have time to work a kid into a position and teach him that position right now. We're gonna have to take what they're naturally good at this point in time and accentuate it and help them be ball players through their natural genetic code, whatever that may be. Side to side lateral movement, some are better at that than others, etc. So with that being said, we have to open it up for competition every single position, and that's what I want to do moving forward. I'm open to any opinions on that, but like I said, guys, this is the only way to get it done. But I mean, if you can convince me, I'm open. Second, and I'm not trying to devalue y'all's opinion. I love you guys, of course. I'm just really to a point where if this is going to be my name and this is going to be something that I'm going to continue to take criticism for, well then I'm going to go ahead and grab it by the reins and make sure that doesn't happen, because this is the future, you know, of myself, and my kids have my last name on the back of their jerseys as well, and you guys' names are attached to it as well, and I don't want anything to happen to that. With that being said, Pitching is going to have to be broken down into relievers, starters, and closers. Starters can have no less than 3 pitches in their bag. So if whoever you're thinking doesn't have 3 pitches in his bag, he cannot start a game unless we are just out, somebody's hurt, a pitch count reason. But Saturdays, nobody starts without three pitches in their bag. And I want to see actual change up is not me throwing the ball slower. It needs to look like you're about to throw a fastball, etc. With the curveballs and everything else. And I'm cool with cutters and everything else. But we need to start doing that, because it's, you know, baseball's designed to work that way for a reason. There's a reason that at a higher level they do all that. Now our relievers are just guys that are going to have to be very mentally strong. They can come into a game in a situation where they're down and they don't mind. That is something that is without a doubt has to be a quality about the reliever. They don't even necessarily have to be the best pitcher, but we need to just get them in there for an inning. You know, if they're not hot, we get another reliever in, or we get someone that ends up closing. Obviously, there's a gray line between relievers and closers at this age because of the amount of innings we play. But our closers are people that we can rely on throwing the ball hard, and they can give us 12 consistent pitches. A closer is not someone who strikes someone out all the time. Obviously, it's someone that hits into that can get people to hit into outs. Obviously, we will have people that are starters some days and closers other days. I understand that, but because we just for what we have, but we definitely need to consider who we keep. Because I know we're talking about keeping a 10-man roster, not keeping 12 guys. We have to understand that if the parents don't want to keep them around, fine, but we got to give them the opportunity to be around, because we do need those guys for pitchers. Matt is mainly who I'm talking about. We really need the arm. We really need him to be a reliever, and so we need to kind of address that. Guys, we can bring 12 and only bat 9. It seemed like Matt's dad didn't have an issue with it, as long as we're honest with him about it. What else did I have? Fielding. Guys, we specifically Lino, I don't know what's going on with him. His mom messaged me and said he wants to play catcher. Falls right back into the category of we're going to put you where we need you. Our catchers have got to increase the ratio in which we are getting runners out on the base pass. And I know it's not them, it's also who we have at third on the corners as well. We have to improve Gabe knocking the ball down at second base. We had a lot of throwdowns this weekend that he's just not getting in front of it. He's doing this. I don't know if he's developed that habit because of our field, but if he can't do it, he can't be there. I mean, it's plain and simple. And like I said, we don't really have time to develop it. Yes, Gabe is a great fielder, fantastic. We maybe need to just put him at second then, because we need to have that throwdown caught. And especially when we're teaching our catchers to not throw rainbows, that ball's going to skip. It's supposed to skip. It's supposed to, about one hop there sometimes. So that's something that we really need to take into consideration. As far as fielding, and the way that we're fielding the ball, a lot of these guys still aren't doing it. So into the repetition practice, we are going to have to do the mundane things of roll them a ball, roll them a ball. If they aren't fielding the ball correctly, like we've done, if the cone drill, etc., guys, we shut it down and we say, no, do it. And if we have to slow it down so they can do the footwork properly and then speed the drill up slowly, that's what we need to do. Because it's not, I'm not worried about doing it as fast as we can necessarily, but these guys need to get it down, and we cannot keep trying to play the game backyard style with which a lot of these guys are. I mean, yeah, they've got great hand-eye coordination, but we saw what happened when real hard shots were hit to the infield this weekend. We don't know how to react, or the players think in their head that they can still do this however they want, and that's just not the case. So you know, we've got to coach these guys up, and it's going to be uncomfortable, man, but why not do it now? You know, I'm okay with taking an extra loss or the player getting frustrated. Shoot, I'm okay with losing a player. I don't care which one it is or who it is. I do not care, but I am not going to not do this the right way anymore. You know, we're having fun, but at the end of the day, I'm under the understanding that we all want to win championships. Period. We want to win championships. This is the only way to do it. If these guys aren't taking pride in the process and getting better, there's nothing we can do. And that's a rec ball mentality. Nothing wrong with that. That's a tuba player mentality. Nothing wrong with that. But what we're trying to do here is, one, take money from families and put it into what we think we can get accomplished. And I think we owe not only ourselves for giving so much time, but the parents the due diligence of doing this the right way. And so that way this keeps the longevity that we have in mind. So I've got all this stuff written down, the exact drills and stuff that we need to do. Guys, really, I think also is in high school, my coach told me, I overheard him telling Coach Montgomery that if you build confidence and tell a player and convince a player that you truly believe in him and that he can truly play baseball at the major leagues. And guys, we have to tell these guys, I mean, they have to believe that they can play at the highest level right here, right now. I could be a major league ball player. Otherwise, it's hard for them to grasp why do any of this. They're kids, right? No, so we're battling TikTok and Facebook and all this other stuff, so who knows what's going on there. So we have to convince these guys that it is an attainable goal, whether you believe it or not, whether I believe it or not. That's the only way we're going to be able to get them to take in the information. Yeah, so with that being said, I just need you guys to be positive. Let them know you believe them. I'm cool. Yes, we're going to coach them up. We're going to coach them up with exact specific direction and changes in the way they field and hit and stuff like that. As far as getting mad at them, this is not the time to do it. Our frustration shouldn't be their frustration. Baseball is tough, like we talk about all the time. And, you know, the only way to get out of a slump or an error streak or I cannot throw a strike, I can't strike out, or whatever it may be, is to what? And you know baseball, you know the term, battle. Don't worry about your statistics. Don't worry about anything else except get up there and battle. And we have this mindset amongst the players that they just can't grasp that idea. The reward of this game comes from the journey. And that's it. As corny as it may seem, that's why baseball is romantic and amazing. I love baseball. And you know how many times I've lost? I don't think most of the teams I played on were losers. We didn't win a lot. But I love the game still, and I'm still here, and I've met so many great people like y'all through it. We have to teach the battle mentality. So that's what's next for me. I think that's it, guys. I love y'all so much, and I feel so blessed to have y'all as my friends and coaches. And I had to get all this off my chest because I'm excited. And I was just telling Steven at work how blessed I feel to be able to have had you guys hold so much of my weight, and me just kind of not being able to be there. But that's not the case anymore. Maybe on Saturdays, some Saturdays, not the games, but I'll be at all the practices moving forward from here on out, and giving my time on Fridays and Mondays if people want it. I'm willing to go right back to where I was at and what I was doing workload-wise to get this stuff accomplished. So anyway, guys, love y'all. I hope y'all having a good day, and I'll talk to y'all soon. If you have any questions, just give me a shout. Bye.